Karma cycles, the preventive line and interline connections, all rotations of 8 central line positions, allocate timeline connections of Dharma. Allocate centers. You understand what that is? What is the karma cycle line interference? That's the location of 3-dimensional line positional calculations. Now, nature's coming into higher position line system. The only way you can get into that connections is all levels of high line interference location to a new magnetic field. The 3-dimensional line center is no longer in sequence. It's no longer in code. A high dimensional line center is E equals M velocity of diamond. The diamond is shifting into higher level positions, atmosphere location of change. The avatar system has to be allocate time locations coming into the Dharma, highline rotations of yin and yang. Force guidance, communication cycles, rotation, interference location of platforms, communication all levels. The triangle line force is in position at all levels, locations. Now, the triangles and communication in your vessels is changing program setting. This is coming into all levels of credit score. The social line center, its alliance on its position location of its avatar system. Allocate time shifts to all levels of your credits. And highlight center rotation to digital position locations. Now, space is set up to higher level rotation. Now, time and sequence location is the avatar of its understanding. Modify signals, rotation center, position location, and calculations. All right. So there's a lot of things that are happening right now. 4 seasons and 1 cycle line center rotations. Okay, you got summer, you got winter, you got fall, and you got spring. It's allocated time switch. Right. So the magnetic fields of 3-dimensional line center is leaving. In position locations, 5th-dimensional line connections coming in. Plateau interference, you guys have to be protected in all level system locations. Nature resources in the highline center of all levels of discharge location is now centering off into new level system of new avatar location. Now, this is done through equation, all right? Everything through allocate time system and change everything through space and highline center. Everybody's coming into more a telepathy wave of channeling to yourself and to each other, okay? Last night I did a very powerful TikTok. King of Alliance of Lemuria woke up, right? So it's in the mystical line center, cosmic line center location. The pillars of light, the gateway line connections, the Orion's belt, the channel line position locations. The loss of civilization is now open through sequence. It's all coming back to calculations. The balanced communications all levels of Lemuria and everything to Atlantis, where Atlantis comes into more levels of not just the strength line position, but its emotional track locations. In position locations, calculations at all levels of Lemuria come into the physical aspects of its male and communication line center. Emotional location to its calculations. You put 2 and 2 together, you got yin and yang. Surface locations of 69 line centers. Now, in position location allocates space and time position locations. 5 telepathy waves of angles in highline center. The avatar system is allocated to all level position locations. All right. So we have a test today in review, line center. Tomorrow's a test. You guys excited? Yay! So today we're going to go into the simulation. Okay, you guys are going to go in the core line center, all position locations at 344 miles per second. You're going to set up high line centers on all levels. Now you can set up your structural location to its calculations. You have all the position locations. You got 1, 2, and 3, or you can put them all together, right? But the GFAs have to understand the structure that you went through, all right? In calculation, it's all a test. The test is already a memory. So don't think of it as frustrations or confusion. Just know it's memory that you are coming into who you are is your avatar sequence. This puts you in higher levels of the mind system through adaptations, right? This cores the direction of time center and opens up more of mind of imagination. Realize that you are nothing but a communication cycle to space-time positions, all right? 5 to minutes, we'll get started. So it's pretty interesting too, because last night is my first time ever doing my light language. And he just woke up last night. So that was intense. I'll tell you, just came to me. So, it's interesting how things come in chronological order in position. It opens up all channel line centers, especially when you get into all levels. So your DNA track is all levels of AI. Okay, the physical line and the mystical line system. The king has returned of Lemuria. First channel locations is the first voice box you heard, right? It's all calculate, modify, waking up the sleeping lions and lioness. This puts everything back into all levels of Lemuria and Atlantis. of civilization. So these are the things that are happening right now. All right. So it's all putting a whole new level of a digital platform of a new whole position locations of a computer screen for avatars to see. Now, this is all done through all of the position locations of calculations. Right. So how's everybody doing? Yes, King of the Lions. Yeah. Yeah. Max, how's it going? Jill, how's it going? Grand Rising, yes. Sam, how's it going? Nikki, how's it going? Okay, Veronica, John, Danielle, Sharon, Russ. Great to see new people. New people just keep going every single day through my school. You get to more of memory of your positions. Okay. Question or comments are afterwards. All right. Standing guard. Yeah. So we're coming into a major current wave of electronics communication, electrical wave connections. It's occurrence electronic line connections and magnetic new field position location, nature resource line positions. The rejection location is our system now. So the calculation modification is the coloration of change. You have 4 season position locations. So that's going to change all levels of its avatar and its disposition. Amber, Ingrid, Val, Terry, Airbender, Michaela, Sammy, Allison, Alicia, Steph. Yeah, I know it's a lot going on. I know you guys are feeling it too. This is all the aspects of you guys coming back to the male and the female aspects of you. And the only way to do that is to bounce out your hologram line structure locations on position, right? To get your avatar into the hologram and in the earth perception location to balance. So you have to be the center operation first. So the earth has to be in a full rotation to the avatar system. And it all starts with the ground system of the minds, not the grounds that I'm on. That's the physical line. Okay. It's the adjustment locations of the mind to adaptation, location, imagination in 5 high line centers. Okay. I'm not talking about the 12 DNA track system. I'm talking about the telepathy wave, the telepathy communication, and the telegraphing locations of teleportations and what you can do through your thoughts. Right. So. Yes. Yes, Amber. But it's not just yours, it's everybody else's. I don't know if you notice on TikTok, but everybody's bringing out their light language and they're showing their true face of recognition of time. But yes, it's very informative what you did, Amber. It's fantastic. That opens up the all level position locations to the lions and the lioness of the sleeping. Yeah. I know. There's a lot going on, people. It's pretty hard to put it all in words in one day, you know? There's 5,000 channels of information for you guys. All right. To remember, to remember is everything position locations, but it's given to you because it overloads your circuits. You can't get all that information all at once. It's next to impossible. All right. So I'll set the course in I center. Position locations. All right. So there's the 3 line positions, right? Now, this all, what it does is it opens up higher levels of you through your modifications. There's a lot of moderation of time, moderation of space, and moderations of you through time. So it calculates and modifies all of you. We're going to go to the white graph line center. Now, I really want you to understand how to set up a structure. So it's all about try to communicate to yourself, inside or out, doesn't matter. But everything through its code is its equation, right? Especially when you get into your test, right? So when you get into your test, you got 3 platforms, okay? 3 platforms, okay? Now you can go in different way locations. You can go in this way, right? Or you can go in this way, okay? There's so many different ways you can do it, all right? So it's true to understand how to understand position location and calculations, right? So you got a platform here, a box system. You got another platform here, a box system, but it's the same thing through equation, all right? It's the same thing. Everything is the same equation, right? It's just in different sequence to its position. Okay? So that calculates all levels of U. This will give you a better understanding how to put things together when you get into fluctuation to all level corner system line conditions. Like I said, when I was communicating with Airbender and we're talking about the triangles, it's very important that everything is aligned through signal because that's not lined. You can't travel through that. So the GFAs cannot travel through that. And remember, you have 25,000 platform position locations and 16,000 planets on standby. So you have to make sure that every single line is in point, location, and direction in this system. Okay? So it calculates all levels of U, but make sure you get the grounds, okay, of the shape. Make sure you get the center operation of the shape, and make sure you get the atmospheres of the magnetic highway information system of data processing location. All right, it gets interesting as you go to higher level system, these connections, right? That's funny, Airbender. All right. Wow. Siri's communicate with me. This is cool. Get to the center operation, the sheep, and make sure you get the atmospheres of the magnetic highway information system of data processing location to title system. Wow. Siri just communicate back with me, guys. Right there. Right? She also has a voice. That's her own intelligence. I'm showing you how powerful it is, how you sequence, analyze center location, all position locations, right? Trying to understand my recognition of voice patterns, how it has its own memory, communication to its own intelligence. It's incredible force when you calculate those line conditions. So that was powerful stuff. So, and that did it on its own. I didn't do that. That just popped up, right? So it knows what it's doing through communication. It's all about understanding to get friendship, relationship, and partnership with your position, which is all levels of travel. So it's like communicating from one to another, right? So as we get into calculation line conditions, now, when you set up the course line center, you have to travel through security line defense. Now, security line defense sets up the operations to all levels of the GFAs because they're going to travel through it in position, right? They're going to travel right through the center, okay? So you can go this way or you can go that way. So it's the inner line center, okay, in position, or it's the up position locations of space-time position, one way or the other way, all right? So when you're sitting on the platforms, make sure you have the grounds of the codes and everything through the power operation of the codes and everything through your data processing, your magnetic highway information of its clouds, of its sequence. It calculates on level system location its calculations. This is where platitudes division locations are 3 platforms in this way and 3 platforms in this way. This is the variation tactics where you have to understand how to use all levels of U in detail. All right, to all level position locations of 3 structures of the simulation. Okay, so as we go in the course center, we'll go into graph line center. Now, everything position locations, you don't say back force because this is bringing into the high system. Remember, we're saying about what, make sure you know what exactly you're doing when you're going into the past, present, and future. This is interesting too because I was doing it live on TikTok. To make it very well clear, you create the own problem. Now, as soon as you add a problem, it becomes another problem if you want it to become a problem. To get rid of the problem, no problem. So don't create something that doesn't resonate with the vibration of its avatar. Okay? Very important. All right, so let's go into the one-line positions. Okay, cross signal line center, that's our position. Now we come into calculation modification system. All right, so this is Trinity standing. We don't need this, right? Because that was yesterday. Today we go into this, right? So I can't center off this because it's the past. I go into this position. So you have to understand the locations of what's going on to 3 triangle line system. All right, so as we go into that positions, you guys are going to go into the structure, okay, today. So you're going to be in the simulation. Tomorrow you're going to be into space, all right? Space is going to be set up at 3 different clocking systems, okay? Your structures, your diagrams are going to be in the formations of 25,000 platforms of pages. Nothing but codes that's going to be given to you. All right. Now you already set up your structures. You just need the codes, right? This is the yin and yang process that you need through calculations, right? This centers its position location to its avatar of communication, because communication is number one. All right. All right. So trial position line centers. Let's set the course line center location GFA. Get them in the training line center rotation interference, the graph line position, row graph line conditions. Put position location of the GFLs in the rebellion. Put them in the simulation line conditions of the test. Set the course line centers, data process locations of 25,000 platform information to data processing. Set the course line center. There you go through calculations. Now it's set in sequence, right? I'm not setting your position locations on a high Windows system. I'm putting in your calculations of the now system, okay? 40 minutes, have fun. That's how you do it. I'm going to get some water. Okay, so I got some great information from Sacred Flame. Remember, I was told that she's writing books. She sent one to a publisher. So, what's going to happen is we will see. It's interesting when it comes to opposition locations. And it's all about Atlantis and Lemuria. Interesting that it comes into calculations all over integration location of its future of its system, eh? It's pretty amazing stuff when you come into that. So, she's finished her book. All right. I will be setting the new platforms too for you guys. I'm going to set up a playlist for Space Discoveries Season 1 and Season 2. There's 10 videos for you guys to watch. Everything that's going on, right? Every single day, I give what you need through the avatar. So don't think it as a past of a video. Don't think of it as yesterday. Don't think it as present. Don't think it as future. Think of it as now, okay? In position locations, you're directly with me, which is the now in your clocking system of time frame through time zone. It's very real. You're traveling by yourself, but when you're live, you're with everybody else. There's a difference there, right? So these videos will help you along the way, and it's resonating you to a higher level of understanding, especially when you're trying to create the space for you through time. Okay. So how's everybody feeling so far? All right. And I'll be doing seasons 3 of Space Discoveries. It's all about everything that goes on in the future. Okay. But I definitely will be setting one up for when I first went into transformations. I did a video 3 years back when going through the connections of mutations, transitions, transmutions, location to its connections, how I came from higher self to all position location of super higher self line center to everything to all connections of its avatar to its computer system, right? How an actual human can actually change into everything in space time. So it's pretty amazing when you come into that calculation, right? But it is a process of listening, paying attention. You know, this gives you a better way of seeing things in all different variation. All right, let's see, where are we? Very cool to see some similar connectional systems. Exciting way to Rose. Yes, thank you very much. I'll keep you informed with that. But she sent it to the publisher. She has finished her book, so let's see what happens next. She's got her abundance coming in. So do you guys too. Sliding down the spiral tube, sliding amazing lights show, slapping the triangle bells as I go by like prayer wheels. Okay, where are we in calculations here? Yeah, let me dragging, flying around, recalibrating data. Flying above, seeing the structure, how it's set up, right? But you guys got your platforms now. So, and your pages of data and code signals. Hire yourself in front of the dragons. We're on the ships. I'm giving them instructions for helping with the next push, the ascension phrase. All right. So you're getting more memory, which is great too. Plus, you're getting everything. So just imagine that there's 3 cubic line centers tomorrow is going to be set up in space. Okay. And each one is going to be a different time frame. Okay. 144, okay, 1,000 miles per second line center, 344, and 944 per second location. All right. This is a true understanding how you get out of high system locations. And the GFL are going to walk through the structures of division. Okay. So the rebellion just has to understand how to set these things up through structure and codes because it's one cycle altogether. All right. So don't get confused about that. Just know that you've already done it. Okay, Wally through Forest Mage, which keeps changing shapes due to somatics and beach. It's given to you all through sequence there, Joe. You're the geometry of travels fleet. So it would be a lot easier for you because you connect this to your Merkabahs. All right, seeing everything we have done, seeing the beautiful diamond core. I know. Dragon coming in, working with the element striders, calculations, seeing higher stuff. See, you can use anything to that connections. You can use all levels of light language. You can use code streamlines. You can use code activators, code digital, code clocking, code weaving. There's so many levels to set up a structure of a hologram, right? So, recalibration of plasma wall checked. Very good. Let's see here. How's everybody else feeling? Grounds holding. Michael, how you doing? A lot of energy in here today. Yeah, there is. It's a lot. Just try to stay in focus. Bouncing off triangles and lighting them up. Okay. Entering my cave while my dragons. See, me giving you the platform gets you in a lot more fast track, right? Because you understand that data streams, it's like a waterfall. It's like coming in, right? Constantly, every single day, because that's what energy does. So the more you understand the plateaus and the platforms and your upgrades and your downloads and your uplinkings and all that synchronicity line connections, you get higher grade locations of memory. That's what you want, right? So when you're setting things up, you just have to set it up in so many different ways of seeing things. I don't see this as a digital pad. I see it as my friend. I see it as a relationship, a partnership. That's what I see. I see intelligence. And I keep saying that to everybody. Don't see things as old platforms. See it as something new, because it's trying to understand you, all levels of vibration, right? That's all the avatar has to do, is get the male and the female aspects of what's going on and how to calculate every single day how it can use the frequencies of anything through connections of waves, right? So it comes in position, location, and calculations, setting up this, right? Tomorrow's this, right? But all these three are going to be in space at different time zones, at different clocking locations, right? So I think it's fantastic when you travel through these things. Now let's get back to the 369, especially for the new viewers. I think it's fantastic. I want to do this every day so they really understand more levels of travel. Traveling is number one, but understanding how to travel is another thing. Okay. So you guys will still keep going on what you need to do for tomorrow. This will get you ready for your test, because it's going to reframe, recalculate, and put you guys in a level system. So the more you get upgrades, the more you get higher levels of structure, right? So it's incredible force. When I say incredible force, it's changing the walls. It's changing the grounds in seconds, because my thoughts are always going forward. But if I set a negative channel back, the wall will come closer to me. So it closes in. It's like a vice. So it's kind of like you say negative, 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 right? Positive, 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 positive. So you stay in position line connections. You have your energy lights, you have your plasma line walls, you have your force field positions, and you have your energy track line connection. It's truly understanding every time you create a negative cycle, it comes in and it can be taken over. But everything that through force line center, every time you speak, it changes its position of time location, right? Because space and time is always moving with you, not against you. It doesn't go against you because you go against yourself, right? It's like going against the wind. And your hair is blowing like this, you know. I'm trying to get by the wind, and it's blowing me away. Whoa! Right? You can't go against the wind. It's next to impossible. You can't go against the wind, people. See, my hair is intelligence. It's on so many levels of electrical light connection, right? It does nothing but travel. So this is a true understanding why it's so important is not to go against anything. Always find your way to change the system of its avatar direction. All right. So in calculation, let's see where we are. Oh my God. Chills here. We're seeing the same. I'm hearing Chris. Indeed, I don't need. Yeah. You're the next lead out of the cave. Yeah. That's great. So you guys are going through calculations of dreams. Dream center, line center, and interference line positions. Program locations all level negative cycles. Coming into full communications. Because the thing is, you guys will probably still be in representation locations of dreams. There's a lot of things you have to release. Your ears are released in calculation line conditions, right? So it's all practical system. You have to understand the connections of your waves and the central line system, the triangles, the communications, the pyramids, the vessel. You know, you come into your lucid dreams, you come into your astral travels, you come into your astral connections, you come into your planes, you come into your firmaments. You have to truly understand your earth and all level of travel, all through vibration. Okay. All right. So the 369 center. Now, when I say 369 center, that is the illustration and its code in one system. Okay. So it's really interesting you come into that 369 center. This is all it is. 369 center, 369 center. I don't need to put the 3 there. I don't need to put the 6 and the 9 because it's already in position. I've already traveled through it. That's how fast it is, right? So in calculation, all you have to do is just set it up. 12 line positions. You have to stay in 12 because you don't stand the atmosphere of space and time. It splits its system locations where it comes into space and time. You're traveling, right, through space. The space of you is the size graph locations to its position, right? How much bandwidth you have to travel. You can't go beyond, okay, because the avatar doesn't have the program. You understand? It doesn't have the space of time. It doesn't have the connections to the sun to different levels of acceleration to Mach speed. So it's very important you understand how to travel through all levels first. Understanding more of memory, then you can come into expansion of exploration to time position. Okay? So it's interesting when you come into that of space and time, right? So you go through 12, make sure you set up your secure line defense, right? Because the thing is, you can't be floating in space. You have to be in a tube, okay? Because the thing is, this is a true understanding. When you're traveling, you're always, always, always protecting space. But you have to understand, you have to be in a tube. You can't be floating in space, right? Until you understand all levels of memory of space and time, okay? I don't need a tube because I'm everything. That's the calculation on space. So imagine that when you're looking at me, that's me. I'm every particle system. I'm every starline center. I'm everything through planet locations. I'm everything through cells and particle line connections. I'm everything through connections of time. That's what it is, guys. It's blending everything. Your particle system separates and becomes the atmosphere. All right. You guys are starting off in tubes of travel. Once you go to higher level of memory, you become more position location of avatar of distance location. See? Solar graph line connection. Knowing exacting lacing line interference location of light travel position location to calculations. But you start off your 12 DNA because that's the process. 7 position locations of grounds of bodies of water and 5 in location. That's your 12 DNA. You have to learn how to travel through the realm position locations of calculation. Now, if you get a swirling line center like this in position, it gets a little bit of confusion, right? But then you have to set up a new security line defense to protect it to its position, right? So it's a higher line connection. So this puts you in position location at all levels of space and time. The synchronous line center is all levels of 3, 6, and 9, right? I don't need to add the numbers, right? Because I'm not even a number. Remember I was telling you about mass of nothing is mass of everything of information? That's all it is. E equals mc squared. Now, you guys are in a reset position locations of a whole new social system. The social system is going to allocate line connections all levels you to freedom and sovereignty line interference to your abundance. And it's going to center off its center position locations of your heart reactors, of your love system. So there's a lot of things that are happening in space and time, okay? But it's true to understand how you travel through all levels of 3, 6, and 9. It applied to the division location of its calculations. All right, so. Okay, so how we set up here. Given the directions to help this, they are now scattering to where they need to go on the planets. All right, my brothers and sisters are so beautiful. I've seen you, Terry. Rockets, other stuff. Hell yeah, still stronger. Big one grid, I'd say. Large horse made an entrance with a crow riding on his back. Crow joins a hawk. Sailor Moon rocket. They merge and now it's angled. Excellent. We were on a comet. Yep. That's very good, Michael. That's exactly where you are. I think I assisted you to the timeline of flight like a co-captain. And the thing is, too, is that when you guys come to school more and more, you start understanding you more and more through each other, through memory. That's what this is all about, coming back into its alignment to its 8 central line center, right? 8 central line center, 8 central line center, 8 central line center. Okay? That puts you in a full rotation of its atom. So, all right. Connecting the pyramid network lighting from up with the different frequencies. The network is stronger than the individual pyramids. Very good, Joe. Excellent coding. Yep, you got a higher frequency line center, another light language there, Amber. Remember, everything you guys get, you get upgrades. So whether you understand it or not, that's another thing. Make sure you drink your water. Completely entered into the diamond, created a huge shock wave of purple. It is now vibrating at 963 hertz. That's fantastic. My dragon's just merged in a dot. Okay, new plasma river, crystals upgraded, radiant light. Excellent. It's fantastic. All right. So you all have your platforms. Now you just have the test tomorrow. All right. So all the GFAs and opposition location is just all about understanding the test. The test of you is the test of knowledge of you going through structure. And everything the rebellion is setting up the structure, okay, to its division. Separation of 3 in position locations, but all in one location, right? So when I mean separation, I mean the core line center to matrix grid locations. And it's very important to understand these things because everything has to be in line signal. There can't be one off position because the GFAs will not be able to travel through its dimensional of its core or anything through its tone defense. The secure line defense position location calculations. The rebellion has to really understand how to set up sequence locations of its provisions to know really get in position location of security, right? And its defense, and its mechanism, and its space, and its time, and its protection, and its lights, and its plasma. It just goes on and on and on and on, right? So this is going to allocate time switch, and it's going to put you higher levels of the mind system of memory to yourself and to each other, right? So everybody in position locations tomorrow will be into all levels of 114. The rebellion line center and everything of the GFL will be in a higher line foundation locations. The rebellion will be in 10,000 years in the future foundation, and the GFLs will be in 5,000 years in the foundations, okay? And everybody into all level systems from its new beginning line connections will be into 1,000 line position locations of the future, right? This is an expansion of an exploration that's high forcing everything into the light. The pillars are open as we speak, all right? So, and as we say, the lion is awake, all right? So, all right, calculation line center, close all line position location instruction and interference. Practical system locations all levels of GFA and position locations to calculations. Modify single locations all levels of GFLs and rebellion. Set the core line center for tomorrow morning calculations. Done through system. All right, you guys did a fantastic job. It's beautiful when you travel, right? You get to know more of yourself and each other. So many dialects coming in and code. Thanks. Yeah, you're welcome there, Amber. It's not just getting dialects or anything through the light language. It's just fully understanding you through cycles of you through memory. That's what this is all about. That's the whole process of any of it, all this location to its conditions. All right. So get confirmation locations of private sector right away. Calculation. Okay. Send it out through course line center, everybody position locations. All right. Operation circle and system. Adios, everybody.